Hi guys, this is Nikki, you also known as Faces Trader, and you're watching the Awesome 10X Live for September 3, 2020. It's a Thursday global market update. Today there's a lot of discussion, and actually in the last 3 days, we have seen the market really ramping up to all-time highs. And a lot of names actually went from all-time highs, and now some of them are pulling back. So what do I mean? Example of these are, of course, really hot names. So let us discuss a few things. I think that we have to know how high the market can go. So far, it seems like we have hit a lot of good moves. Like graph went as high as 50% in just a few days. Take note that it was trading at just 18 last August 27. It actually hit earnings, sorry, not even earnings, after like a presentation, no, with some SPAC insiders. So whether you've been buying here at about 18 or 19, I would suppose that this run up could actually have an overbought condition. So a graph might need some profit taking. Like if you are a believer of Velodyne LiDAR, and we surely are, that tells you why we have been buying for quite a while now. I'd say that after hitting 27, we might be seeing some profit taking. So we might need to anchor our biases, and if around 27 to 24, you might want to take profits, even if it can go higher and higher for the next few months. Now, if you aren't selling, where should you be buying? The other buying point would have to be somewhere below 21. Like I'd be comfortable if graph goes down below 21 to buy again, whether it happens in the next few days, say, or months. But I'd profit take. I'd be wrong. Okay, I could be wrong at profit taking, and that's normal. Okay, so which companies truly made a huge move this week, this entire week, on this entire month? Practically, after Zoom reported quite a great number, all the SaaS companies went like 30, 40, 50% up. So there was a lot of people selling down for Zoom video here at about 250, but after a breakout on earnings, it went as high as $400. It even went as high as 450, 480 even. So it's gonna be a lot of profit taking now for Zoom video coming after the earnings report, no? So it could go as low as 350 to 360. People might say the same thing happening for your Tesla. Tesla, after hitting, of course, that $350 mark, is now the 1.7 mark. That used to be the previous high after the stock split. 500 indeed is 2,500. This has been a stock split, no? So there's a lot of movement. I think though that at 380 to 390, that would be your new $2,000 mark. That would be your new support. So here, 500 all the way to 400 after Tesla announced a dilution of about a share offering of $5 billion. There looks to be more profit takers rather than buyers. So you might argue that it's not a sell, but actually it's not a sell. It's more like try to take profits if you want to. CrowdStrike, of course, hit as high as $150 after, of course, but after earnings, the after hours move last night at 152, it had been already some succumbing to some sell-offs here at 142. Tonight, it opens, I think, at 132. So I would say that if you didn't sell last night at about 142, that you might still wish to sell at any price 137, all the way to 127. You've got a significant run-up indeed. But with the market giving you too much too soon, like 50% run up August, just on the month of August for CrowdStrike after falling to as low as 99 to 100, I'd say that there will be more profit taking. Right now, I would not confuse you with fundamentals. Let's just go straight to charts. You might like fundamentally CrowdStrike, but with a lot of froth right now in the market, let's focus on some charts today, and the charts are dictating some potential selling off. Now, what happened? Of course, your Nasdaq here has already traded to as high as about 12,400. Sure, a lot of people actually sold some at 11,000, and some of us bought back only. And then, of course, now at about 12.7, 12.4, nobody can predict how high this can go. It can even go to as high as 14,000, and brought about by whom? Your Google last night went all-time highs again. Some of us said that at all-time highs, we are confident to even buy Google at all-time highs. That's your arrow here. But if Google trades at about 18192,000, I would be trailing my stops here. And true enough, people might say, I thought that you'll just hold on to your winners for as long as the time comes till it goes 100 to 150% or something. Indeed, like in the next 5 years, I think that Google's going to be a $3,000 company. But that is 5 years, not 5 days. Should this go up 40, 50% up, like the way happening with FMCI or Graph in just like a month or so, it is just prudent enough for me. For instance, FMCI, we've been buying about 14, even as high as 17 and 18. That is an increased buy. After hitting at about 23 last night, I'd say that any continuous run up, say at 27 or 30, is gonna be a profit taking position for me. So I'll sell here, I'll sell further higher, and if it goes down, I'll sell further lower. So whether it goes up or goes down, I'm willing to unload. For FMCI, for Graph, even for your big winners, these are my big winners, Agora. Agora buying here, notice that we did say that we have been buying at 38. If you have been following the YouTube, you know this. Of course, also for those inner circle classmates that of ours, of our students, I think that the prior resistance here at about 64, 68 could prove to be a resistance. So whether Agora continues higher, of course, great numbers here, great earnings. So people might say, don't sell your winners. Indeed, when I'm selling, it's not selling my entire stake. So I could have two positions here. I'm going to just sell one position here. And even if I sell another position here, I would make sure to hold maybe 1% of my position. Because at 40 to 60, 70, it's actually 50% higher already from my initial costs. So let's say I started with, say, a 1,000 share position. So 40,000 is already $60,000. I could sell my entire $40,000 stake and still own $20,000 worth all in profits. So that is how I could hold a 5x move or a 10x move someday in the next 5 to 10 years. Say Serens goes to about, so gotten some 36, entered some more at about 48 to 50 bucks. I'd say that if Serens continues higher, near 60 to 70, or even just 55 to 60, I'd be willing to unload a few names. People would say I'm selling a lot, maybe. SunPower, of course, after buying here at about 7, now trading at 11.30 and 12. Of course, that is after the Maxion spinoff. I would just hold on to this winner, but I would have sold a little here at about 11 to 12. So partial profit taking on your power, SunPower. Profit taking does not mean that I am shorting. I'm just putting some, trimming it to cash. For all intents and purposes, maybe my cash would buy into some IPOs or some new SPACs. Some of the new SPACs that came out are FEAC and GMHI. Flying Eagle, of course, is now the skills. It's going to be an esports related company. And then, of course, GMHI, also another LiDAR company, Peter Thiel backed. So I have this, and I think that at 11, indeed at 11 I bought. Even if it goes to about 14 or 15, I would continue to hold on to this. So I am holding some GMHI, and I also hold a few things like this Beyond Meat, even if it fell last night to about 129.7. Yeah, so I think like Beyond Meat is just here. The earnings call would be around November. So I have a few months to wait. If it goes to 116 or even here at about 100 bucks, I won't be scared. It's okay for me. So I'll try to buy 116 or even at 100 bucks. So I'll wait it out. Some of the names that I'm taking a look at, of course, is LLNW. Limelight Networks here at about $5.50. I think 575 to 550, even as low as 485 is already too oversold. And I'd be willing to buy here at the lows. So I'll wait it out, 650 and 8, I'll sell. Some of the companies that have reported some numbers that fell after hours, Zuora is opening, I think tonight it's opening at about 13. So indeed, I bought somewhere here at 12, I even added a 13. I took profits a bit at about 16, 17. Didn't sell all. I wasn't psychic enough to know that that it would actually be 13 at the end of the day. So 17 and 13, that nets me out at an average sell of 15. I'm okay with that. So at 13, I'll be willing to sell some Zuora tonight. CrowdStrike, I'll be willing to sell some of that at about 137 to 127 tonight. Purchase price was about 100, 110. My highest price to buy was about 121, 123 here at about all-time high. So even if I sell tonight, I'll still be in the money. This is just to tell you that I don't always sell at the peak. For instance, for Grow Generation, a lot of you know that I've been buying at about 12. I didn't sell at the peak at about 20 or 22. I actually sold at about 16, 17, and 15. So I'm out. I'm already out. I don't sell at the peaks. I just sell at the trends. When the trend is over, I'm out. So Grow Generation, I'm out. CrowdStrike, I think, end of the day, game over for the next few months. Even if you like it, maybe the momentum is already finished for the meantime. And then, of course, the strong run-ups of my SPACs is prompting me to sell them. I could be wrong. It could go $30, but you could see that at $20, I'll be willing to buy Graph anyway. If it falls to 20, I'll be willing to buy 20 below. There's a lot of IPOs, XPEV, X Xiaopeng Motor. So this one I am accumulating. So should it fall near 15 or even 20, I'm willing to take the hit. So small position for me now. So I usually start with a very small position, maybe 3% or more, at most just 5% of my portfolio. So that is at most. It will take me some time. If it really falls about 17 or 15, then that's when I'll enter. The IPO Xiaopeng was 15, so I'll see whether a lot of people will take profits on their Xiaopeng. I'll also explain to you how I hold some of my winners. Albemarle took a bit of a position here at about 75, even at 65. Electric vehicles will need some lithium-ion batteries. When I knew, initially I was thinking that this was 87, 88 resistance, but I held off on my selling. I allowed it to just go up. Now it's at about 100. That would be a previous resistance at 100. As long as Albemarle continues to stay above 90, so I will just trail my stop. So I was willing to sell Albemarle at 90 anyway. So this 99 move or 100 tonight, all of these are just a gravy at this point in time. From about September all the way to November, whatever happens, I'll just be mostly light. I'd say that I will continue to own positions, but I might sell half. So let's say I have a position here. Selling half at 100 tonight isn't gonna make me miraculously rich, but it will allow me to have the cash should Albemarle go down to 86 or even at 75 again. So I'm just really protecting. At this point in time, I'm more on the protection zone. I also said that all that education names are a sell to me. Pluralsight and Yotao. I thankfully exited some Pluralsight at about 20.5. You could see that I exited that. Even at about today, 19 and a half, I'd say that I'm willing to sell. Even if, yes, last few months, I've been buying at 18.50 all the way to what, 17. I'm willing to sell only because I think that online education might actually have a hard time convincing parents to just really be online. So of course, reopening theme would enable offline courses, to go back to school. So I think that the reopening theme is happening. That is why I have some turnaround plays. Non-essential company like Funko, I've been buying. So at about 550, 575, I think below 6, really, below 6, I'm willing to buy. And last night, it hit as high as 670, 660. First resistance at 650, although I think that resistance will eventually be clobbered down, and that resistance will then become a 780 move. So for Funko, I would continue to hold on to this and see whether it can translate to 7.8. So this is one of the few companies that I'm willing to just hold first. Disney, of course, is also a reopening theme. It managed to break above 135. I'd say that the next move of Disney is here at about 140 to 150. So I'm gonna willing to hold on to this. Let's see how high. Maybe I can get another 10% just by holding some winners. So what I'm doing is I am rotating some of my big winners towards cash. CrowdStrike, I'm willing to sell a bit. Maybe I'll sell a lot. Depends on really how big of a position you have, no? C Limited, I think e-commerce. I was willing to buy even as high as 150, but should C Limited go higher to about 170 to 180, I might actually trim on the way up. So I'll be willing to sell a little and have the risk of selling early. So I'll be selling early. I'm confronting the fact that I could be selling early. So that's something that I am thinking of. I'm also willing. Let's say I'll show to you a few Chinese names. So Tencent is a great company, but I think at 550, 550 is quite a bit too much for me. So I'm just willing to buy Tencent at 475 or even 500 below. So if I don't have it, here there was a buying signal at 530, but at 530, I'm still willing to sell it at 550 or above, even if it goes 600. So very little upside, I think, for the people who are buying. Same case for Alibaba. I'd say that the big money was over. Those who bought it about $200 can willingly sell it to you at about 296 today. Even if it goes to 350 or 400 or $500 someday, I'd say profit taking is not a bad thing. What's happening in other solar companies? First Solar here at about 77. I think that at 80 or 84, there will be some sellers. Sure, it can go to 100 in the future. But I think like right now, try to trim in the next 3 months. Your goal is probably to trim as high as it goes, even if you believe in it on the long term, so that if First Solar drops anywhere in between 77 to 63, that you have some cash to actually buy. So here, what I'll do with First Solar is that every drop 70 to below, I'll be buying, and then every rally, rally to at 100, all the way to 100, I'll be selling upwards. So same thing for CSIQ. Let's discuss some of our solar picks. So Canadian Solar had rallied almost 40-50% as well. So at 33 to 35, I could be wrong. It can go as high as $40. So what I'll do here is I'll be trimming on the way up. So I'll see that this resistance at 40 and about 35, I'll sell a little. So sell partially, 1/4, 1/2, 1/3, depends on what you want. So sell some 33, 35, 40, all the way up. And then if it falls near 30, I think that at 30 below, that's when I'll buy back. So so you can see that I'm just flexible. So I'm willing to sell up, but I'm also willing to buy down. So I'm gonna do that. So not really gonna sell the entire stake. So it really depends on your position size. How big do you have these positions? Um, let's take a look at some names that I have. So 1337, Razer here, I bought some here at about 138. Sold a little actually at 160, not knowing really what will happen. Went as high as 179. Why did I sell at 160? It was here. Before earnings, I was selling here at about 160 consolidation. And then, of course, it fell to 150. Right now, actually, this 149 to 150 mark is a potential support. It can even fall to 140 and I wouldn't budge. I think that is still a support. That doesn't mean that I don't think that Razer will not go to 2 or 250 or $3 or $5. So I think that in the future, Razer will continue to go higher. So I'm just trying to manage the trade, manage the investment really, because the only way for you to hold your winner is to actually have been taking profits as it went up, so that even if it goes to 1,000%, you have been adding, but you have also been selling. So Razer, I've been buying and selling these names, but I still hold the core position. So I do that. So I do hold core positions. For instance, Nvidia here at current levels, to me at 573, limited upside. So the highest price that I was going to be willing for buying Nvidia is just actually 400. I wouldn't even budge at 360 before, no? So right now, I think that the market is already trading at a very parabolic move. You could see that the angles are now parabolic from about 400 to about 600, 50% in just a month. So I'm willing to wait for Nvidia to buy it at about 400, even if it's good numbers, good earnings, and so forth. Now, what happens to companies like Qualcomm? Assuming I bought here at about 115, I know I didn't buy at 90. Right now it's trading at 123. I could trim some at 123, up 8%, but I won't sell all. See, I think it's gonna go 200 bucks. Any drops of Qualcomm back to 110. So if I sell at 123, I'm willing to actually buy at 110. I'm not gonna sell everything for companies that I truly believe that is still undervalued. I'm just gonna hold on to it and see where it takes me. Slack is going to report numbers next week, and with a bad earnings call, that would some people are already afraid that their pager duties, Zuora's, CrowdStrike fell about gap down. So it doesn't matter if you are 5% in, that is still a gap down. So I always emphasize that sure you could put some trail stops, but at the end of the day, a gap down doesn't really help your trail stop. You will still be sold at a gap down. If Slack gaps down tonight at about 29, what's the use of your trail stop? The importance here is actually how much position size do you have for Slack, for Zoom, for all those names. Of course, for Zoom, you got the benefit of the doubt. The benefit was that it went 40% up after earnings. But what would you have felt had you been holding your CrowdStrike? Tonight, it gaps down 8% on you. Sure, you might say, well, 8%, it's nothing. But at the end of the day, your 150 is now tonight at about 132. I think after hours, it's already 132 or 133, especially further for your pager duty. Last night was trading at about 37. Tonight, it's going to open here at about Tonight is going to open here at about 27. So I think that 27 is really a support even at 24. So there's two things that can be done. How bad is bad? It is an overreaction. I think that pager duty is being sold down heavily, 27%, without really a huge reason why. But I think that this one will become a resistance as well here at about 32. So that breakout buy here at 32 is now going to be a resistance sell. So that would be a resistance, not just for about September. I think it's going to be a resistance for the entire 3 months, September, October, November, all the way till December. So you've got a lot of selling fronts. What happened? Let me explain to you what happened in the market. Some companies like Fastly gap down after earnings. It is a memory remembrance. So people know that at 75, that at 100, people have a resistance there. What happens to the people who got at 120 or 110? They're gonna sell at 102. So that's the reason why Fastly at 100 is still being sold down. Where am I going to be comfortable to buy Fastly? Personally, I'd be buying somewhere about 70 below. You might say, well, you'll never get at 70 below. That's also true. So I don't mind. The truth is there are so many stocks in the world. If I don't get my price, I don't mind getting in. So example, Datadog also sold down here after a peak of 100. You are already selling. You are seeing a lot of these expensive SaaS names already being sold down. For all you know, in the next 2 months, it's already back to about 70 or 60, just the same price as May. So I'll be willing to buy at May levels if I can. Okay, so the thing is, I am willing to actually have some cash so that I could buy low. Now you might say, well, it's never gonna go low, Nikki. That's also true. That's why I'm not really that's why I'm just selling. I'm not shorting. Like for instance, if you have Tesla and you're selling at about 450 to 470, I'm not shorting. That's just really taking profits. Now, if you sold early though, and you can't sell anything there, you might just as well wait it out. Like wait it out for your real entry. If you really like Tesla, wait at about 390 below if you really, really like it. Now, what's happening in some Chinese Tesla competition, BYD went from about 60 to 90, also 50%. But at 90, fell to about 70, back to 80, sold down, back to about 68, rallied to as high as 88. I think that at 88, people are actually selling this. So I could be wrong. It could go 100, but for now, I'd be sell first. Sell first, ask questions later. So that's really my view, and that's going to be my title, Sell First, Ask Questions Later. Are there any comments? Let's see. Korean BTS record label is going for IPO. We cannot buy Korean companies inside Interactive Brokers, so I'm not studying Korean companies, even if some of them are 10x, only because I can't purchase them. Is Shift4 payment still at 10x? 4, I think at 38 was a great buying opportunity, and even here at 41. But as you could see here in my arrow, I think at about 50 to 55, it is a take profit area. It is a selling area for now. I could be wrong. It can go 60, 70, but I'm not willing to buy shift 4 at about 51. That's me. I could be wrong. If I have 250,000 in Philippine stocks, would you recommend to allocate 100,000 pesos in global markets? Yes, you can. You might as well start, and because for all you know, around October or November, what if the US crashes? You might be able to get actually a 20% drop. So you might want to wish to open an account specifically to buy IPOs and a lot of IPOs, some good names like IPO SPACs. There's a lot of IPOs that you want to actually enter into if you can enter them at a good level. Eugene Clark is saying, I have 287 million pesos in PSC. Oh my God, are you that rich? If you are really that rich, should I relocate it to global market? For somebody with the $5 million, um, you must have lost a lot of money in Philippine stock markets because that is not where you should be. So pardon me if I am going to doubt that remark. Somebody with $5 million or $6 million would never invest in Philippine stocks. He would have diversified a long time ago. So if you don't have any allocation to global markets, indeed by 2020 to 2030, consider that that big position, the Philippines, has to be trimmed in the next 10 years. Because where do you want your money to be in the next 10 years? The globally best companies, maybe. Now, Lifesaver Philippines, if I would allocate $2,000 in interactive brokers, how much can I borrow? The same. I think you can borrow about $2,000. So, what is your profit achievement target? You sell all your positions after you achieve a 10x. You cannot achieve a 10x unless you are holding a company for at least 6 years. So, if you are achieving a 10x in 3 months, definitely you have to sell it. If you can achieve a 10x in 12 months, yes, you also have to sell it. So people who have made 10x already from some of their workhorse, $2 to $20, some of their plug or their F cell or their Ballard, some of them are 10x already. I'd say that some of them have already taken profits, but they are holding on just in case that 10x goes 20x. The point is, the reason why they are able to make 10x is because they didn't sell their winners when it reached 50% or 100%. So I have like 50% winners. I am not selling all. So for instance, let's say I have $100,000 position and it's up 50, I would sell half and I'm going to hold the rest. May ghost month pa kaya ngayon sa America? It looks like actually, it's not about ghost month. You could see that Fastly fell, Datadog fell, your CrowdStrike fell, Zoom Video is also being taken profits from. Some Teslas are also getting taken profits from. So I would take caution. PagerDuty and Zuora has also been taking profits from. A lot of all-time highs like NVIDIA could also be taken profits from in the next few days. So the all-time highs to me are more of a signal to just trail my stops. I'm not buying all-time highs today. I'm just taking profits. Or if I'm gonna buy an all-time high, I'm very picky. Like Facebook, Google, and Qualcomm, sure, I bought them all-time highs, but I'm very picky. Because even if it falls 20%, I don't mind. Like if Google fell 500, I don't mind. See, I don't really care if they fell 20% on me. It's okay. So BYD, CZR. Are you talking about casinos? Boyd Gaming, MGM Casinos, Caesars Entertainment. I think all these casinos have rallied a lot. So I'll be more on the take profit stance rather than on the buying mode. BASF is a good company. What has happened to their stock? Why is it illiquid? I don't even know what BASF is. I can't tell much, sorry. So it's not in my list. Mercado Libre, okay to enter. I'm not willing to enter Mercado Libre at $1,000. Consider me, I could be wrong. So I think like Mercado Libre, yes, the Amazon of Latin America. We have bought that at about 400, 500, 450 to 500, I remember, during about May, April, May. Sure, everything is up 100% after 3 to 6 months. Not willing to buy it here, But I'm not willing to sell it either. If I own a lot at 500, I would just sell maybe partially. I wouldn't. I'm pretty sure people who have Mercado Libre at $7 or $100 are neither gonna sell their Mercado Libre at 1.1 or 1.2. So I think like the best opportunities today are not in the overcrowded names. E-commerce, Mercado Libre is to me an overcrowded name. To the point that C Limited at 155, in my view, is an overcrowded name. I want to hold on to it, but I am not gonna be foolish to think that that these names could not fall 110 or 120 someday in the future. So I'm not gonna trade all of the positions. See, I like e-commerce, C Limited, Mercado Libre, Ocado, Amazon, Alibaba, all these great companies, JD, Pintuoto, but I'm not willing to buy them today. I think it's so expensive. And if I'm willing to buy them today, I'm gonna have to just sell it quickly. If I buy today, it's not for keeps. I'm just gonna sell it tomorrow or next few days. Any problems, like I'd be willing to sell. So for instance, C Limited, had I been willing to buy at 150 to 153 or even 155, it reaches highs 163 and now it's backing down to 157. I'm willing to sell even at 157, 158, square it. It's okay. So what are your top three global laggards? So right now, I think like the laggards are really the reopening theme. So the reopening theme, the non-essential companies like Funko and Disney seems to be going up. Twitter went up. These are some laggards that I own that I think that I am no rush to sell. Like if Disney went 140 bucks, okay, I can sell. If it went 120 bucks, I don't mind. Kurt is asking, do you do shorting? No, I don't. So I'm not shorting. I'm just taking profits. And yeah, I think like it has to be clear for people that my selling of Graph has no intention for me to say that I don't believe in Validine Lighter. I'm actually taking a risk, guys, because usually my mistake is I sell a winner and then it goes 500% higher. So Graph might even be $100 next month, next 2 months, next 3 months, for all I know. But don't worry, I have learned my lesson. I will never sell all of my winners anymore. So what I've learned is that if I have a big winner, I will wish to hold on to it. So example, let's say you have Tesla at a really good price. Let's say you got in Tesla below 200 bucks. You have it at 50 bucks. You have it at 40 bucks. Even at pre-stock split. So 200 is the $1,000 area below. I think that not all of you would sell even at 450, even if you're up, because you'd say that, well, what is the probability that I can buy Tesla back below $300, below 380? The probability is also low. So even if you know that Tesla at 500 or 25 is pretty high, and 400, 500 to 400 might be profit taking already, I'd say that not everyone would wish to sell. It really depends how big of a size they have. If they own a huge, huge size, like I'd say they'd be stupid not to take profits, right? Because taking profits is really an art. There is no science in it. Some people would sell at 100% up. Some people would sell at 50% up. Some people are too greedy that they'd only sell it after like 5 years, 10 years hold after like 500% up. So me, or sometimes people are too little faith in their companies that they sell even just 3 to 5% up. So I mean, I'd say my typical sell is about 30%, 20% above, and my typical holding period is about 6 months, 3 to 6 months. So yeah, sometimes if I hold them 1 month lang and it's up 50%, sometimes nagkakamali ako eh. If I sell a company that I own only for a month that went 50% up, something like a tattooed chef, I'm up like 50%, 14, 15 cost, now it's about 22. I could be wrong. Kasi for all I know, bukas 27 na yung tattooed chef. I could be wrong, actually. I think some of my SPACs selling could be actually a risk. I could be taking a risk because usually some of my SPACs will go 100% higher the next month, even after I'm up 50% this month. So yon, I think that is a big risk that I'm taking for profit taking. Thank you very much, guys, and see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, free class. And I don't sell everything, guys. Just because I talk today about taking profits doesn't mean I'm selling. Um, it's just partial profit taking. If you have so much profits on the table, it's sometimes just right to take profits, even if you don't know the top. So that's it. Thank you very much. Bye bye. See you again tomorrow.